You were talking about wanting people to say Bing or Bob, or people recognize the voice because you're one of the more popular voices in voiceovers for commercials now. How many do you do?
Well, I have a few, Mike, that I do. I'm very happy to do Jeep and Citibank and Citicorp and General Tire and Pennzoil and a few things like that. It's something that it goes back to my radio days. It's something that I did for many years in radio, and then got away from it for a while. And a few years ago, someone came to me and said, "Look, we're looking for somebody to just do that. Would you do that?" I said, "Sure. I used to do that all the time. I'd like to do it." So yeah. I continue to do that now.
All right, let's go to the phones and talk to some of your fans. We say hello to Ron from West Carrollton. Hi.
Yes, Mr. Crenna, I'd like to compliment you on your great acting. I really have enjoyed your work over a period of years. I would like to ask you two questions. Your impressions of Walter Brennan?
Well, Walter Brennan, of course, is someone that I really look back with tremendous fondness in those years that we spent together on the Real McCoys. He was a real mentor for me. I learned a great deal from Walter. I think he was one of the premier actors of our day. I mean, he was a man that was much underrated in the sense that he played rural characters and he played down-and-out kind of people. And as a result, although he won 3 Academy Awards, I don't think he really ever got his due in the community as the kind of actor that I perceived him to be. He was a full method actor, in my opinion.
Yeah, 3 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor.
That's correct.
Has there been any storyline developed on the next Rambo movie?
No, not so far as I know, because the minute we develop a storyline, Chuck Norris shoots it. So I'm not sure. I think they've got it. I think they've got it in a safe, hidden someplace, so that nobody can get their hands on it.
I understand that I'm told you do a great Stallone impersonation.
It'd take us off the air, though.
Would it really?
Yeah,
that bad?
I dare do Stallone.
Bob from Kettering, hi.
Yes, Mr. Crenna, I'd like to take you way back. I think that the R. Miss Brooks series was, for pure enjoyment, has been topped by very few, if any, TV series. To me, it was funny.
Well, thank you.
In fact, share with us what you shared with us on the radio portion of the show about a little anger you had with people.
Well, it sounds like I'm coming here this morning to just get off, Mike.
Yes,
I mean, what is this? I mean,
I
don't want to start the day off like this, but no, I'm glad you've had that feeling about the Brooks show, because I do look back on that again with tremendous fondness. And I was, to be perfectly blunt, I was incensed when People magazine did a 50th anniversary of television and mentioned neither the Real McCoys nor R. Miss Brooks, because I think those two people, Walter Brennan and Eve Arden, contributed as much as any performer in the history of television to the enjoyment of millions of people all over this country. And I've always felt that neither of those shows have gotten their due.
All right, Bob?
One quick thing.
Sure.
What was the actor's name that played Mr. Boynton? I cannot recall that.
Robert Rockwell, and you see him right now doing a commercial for one of the breakfast cereals.
Right, he is.
He's still attractive. I still call him a young man.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. Bye-bye. We say hello to Holly from Oxford. Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to thank Mr. Crenna and comment on a made-for-television movie that he did about male rape. I thought it was just a very good movie and something that isn't very well publicized, and I think it brought the issue of rape home to a lot of men, whereas they would not have considered it before.
Well, thank you. I was very privileged to have played that role, and I was very fortunate that year to have won an Emmy for that. I was very pleased. It was wonderful material, and directed by a woman, incidentally.
Oh, really?
It was very helpful to me, of course, a man playing a rape victim, and I agree with you. I think it did bring the emotional impact of rape and the repercussions of rape home very strongly to a lot of men who might not otherwise have really identified with it.
It's not something that's very well publicized, and congratulations on your well-deserved Emmy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for calling. We talked during the radio portion about your political aspirations, and you're kind of a quiet political person, if you will.
Very.
You don't use your acting as a soapbox for political issues, but do you look for, or do you enjoy doing pictures with, I mean even the Rambo movies have a theme.
Yeah, they do have a theme. You know, it's strangely enough, despite all of the violence and its connection with violence, it has a theme of righteousness and patriotism and so on. You know, and just to kind of cap that off for a moment, I'd like to, you know, say that the Rambo films are not political essays. You know, they are not. It's not the killing fields. It's fantasy. It's pure audience participation fantasy, and that's the way it should be viewed.
How do vets feel about it? How do Vietnam vets feel?
Well, I think the vets like it. You know, I think the first one, particularly First Blood, I think brought the plight of the returning Vietnam vet home very graphically to millions of people that had, in my opinion, pretty much ignored what those young men had done in Vietnam. And I think we did a great service. Yeah. To the veterans with the first one particularly.
All right, we're gonna, and we mentioned during the radio portion what happens to be one of my favorite TV shows, and you thought was a quality show as well, All's Fair.
Yeah, I liked All's Fair.
Lasted what, 2 years?
Oh, All's Fair lasted 1 year.
Just 1 year?
Only 1 year, yeah. And Bernadette Peters, of course, was on, and a young man that's done pretty well since then, Michael Keaton, has not done too badly.
No.
But we had a wonderful cast on that show, and I thought it was a very good show. It was a little bit ahead of its time. It was an older man involved with a younger woman, a romance out of wedlock, and I think that it was pretty courageous for its time. Norman Lear's show, and something that didn't sit too well with female viewers. I think now they would have a different attitude about it. But in those days, it was not a show that was a popular subject.
What do you still want to do?
I'd like to just get about 3 birdies and sink 4 or 5 good putts.
You can do that this
Saturday
weekend.
and Sunday.
Okay,
yeah,
Bogey
Bogey Busters.
Matter of fact, we'll be talking to Cy Lauder, the founder of Bogey Busters, tomorrow on this program, along with football legend Otto Graham. This is the Mike Scinto Show, coming to you live from the studios of 1290 WHIO Radio and the facilities of Television 7.